Steve Pechenik, and this is Steve Talks. Hi, I'm Dr. Pechenik, and today Steve Talks. I want to talk about several issues that Trump has been involved in the past couple of weeks. Let's start with the GRU. Number one, I know the GRU. They're the military intelligence unit of the Soviet Union or Russia. I've always had a respect for the GRU as I had for the KGB and the FSB. Probably I'm the only one who's really understood and been involved in the takedown of the Soviet Union and understands to what degree the KGB was collusive and to what degree it really resisted the takedown of the Soviet Union. In effect, the GRU doesn't really care about Hillary Clinton or who wins the election. They hack us all the time, and we in turn, the United States, hack China, France, Russia, and Israel. In turn, Israel hacks us, France hacks us, Germany hacks us. Hacking has become a cyber command warfare state throughout the entire world. So the GRU is not relevant. More importantly, Mueller is not relevant. It's unfortunate that a man who went to St. Paul's, Princeton, won a Medal of Valor during the Vietnam War, really has to debase himself and become a caricature of what he should never have been, a buffoon and a self-aggrandizing moron. He really should have left after 9/11 and kept his mouth shut, as should have Comey, as should have Rosenstein, and the FBI in general. Unfortunately, they never learn the lesson. They never understand that the continuation of a narrative that is both inappropriate and inconsistent will never convince the American public that we need an FBI, we need a Mueller, or we need a Comey, or anyone else, or Rosenstein. Let's now go to NATO. The notion of NATO is an artificial notion. In fact, it's nothing more than the United States with many uniforms attached to our soldiers. And what do I mean? In the 40 years that I've worked in intelligence, counterintelligence, in counterterrorism and terrorism, I have never utilized the work of any of our NATO nations. I found them to be incompetent, I found them to be bureaucratic, and I found them to be less than useless. In that case, Trump was absolutely correct. We don't need a NATO. In the 21st century, what's happening now is that we're entering a war of one and zeros, the binary interstitial war between the internet and quantum encryption. We do not need guns. I do not need deployment of troops on the eastern border against Russia. Russia is not our enemy. It will never be our enemy again, and it has been a victor in World War II. Now let's get to Angela Merkel of Germany. It's time that she resigns. She's been there 16 years. I liked her. I thought she was bright. She's a PhD in nuclear physics. She comes out of East Germany. But it's time that Germany elects a new leader and a younger leader. In the same way, it's time for the Democratic Party to get rid of Nancy Pelosi, 78, Dianne Feinstein, 84, Steny Hoyer, 78, and get rid of Elizabeth Warren, who will not be effective, and Bernie Sanders. Now, from my point of view, the most important thing for America right now is our economy and the fact that we have been able to achieve parity on what was considered the war of tariffs. The great Martin Luther King once said that a narrative or an explanation based on ignorance and distortion of facts will never advance democracy or positive change in a society. In fact, it is counterproductive to democracy. I end with that quote because it's time to change the narratives that are used against Trump and the administration. They're not correct, they're blatantly false, and they have to have what we call a reality test. In other words, for the individual to understand what Trump is doing or not doing, you have to know some history, you have to delve into the facts, and question those who make statements. Good night and good luck. Hi, this is Dr. Steve Pechenik, and this is Steve Talks.